Hey, welcome to the Dray Way. I'm Drayton Nay. I'm your host, and we have a big show today. We have a lot of things to talk about. I'm just angry in general, and I want to see if you're as angry as I am. Because on this show, you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me. So let's get started. I got a big show for you today. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Way. Look, I'm glad you're here. I want to get started right away and tell you what my list of grievances are. Are you getting the feeling that everything is just completely out of control? I just saw 100% tariff on pharmaceuticals. And I cannot tell you how, when I saw that, how outraged I became. Because I cannot even begin to tell you. And I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just telling you the facts. I cannot begin to tell you how many times, I bet it's at least a half a dozen times, I've been standing in line at CVS to pick up my parents' medication. And there's an old person in front of me that can't afford all their medication. And I'm talking about, it's not hundreds of dollars, this pill would cost another $26, another $18, and they don't have it. So now I'm standing there and I'm watching these people decide, do I take my blood medicine? Do I take my heart medicine? Do I take this? Which one do I not take? And I'm sorry, I can't take it. I can't take it. I step up and I go, excuse me, ma'am, how much is it? How much is it? Oh, it's another $26. Here's the $26. And they look at me like, you don't have to do that. I go, apparently I do. Apparently I do. I said, just pass it on to the next person. And I've done it a number of times because I don't understand living in a country where people can't get their medicines. I don't understand why the United States buys by far the most medication in the world. We are the number one consumer of medications in the entire world, and it's not even remotely close. No one else comes anywhere near what we do. But yet we pay the highest prices. And you know what? There's only one reason that we pay the highest prices. One. And that reason is because, you guys got money. The United States has money, so that, we charge you the most, so we take your money. Wait a minute. Why doesn't it work with taxes that way? Why don't you tax the people that have all the money? Oh, no. That's different. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not different. But that's just, I'm bringing up just one thing. I'm bringing up the 100% tariff on pharmaceuticals because I know how that's going to damage so many people. Like the whole thing with insulin. People need insulin to survive. What are we doing charging people hundreds of dollars for insulin? How pathetically sad that is. And you go to other countries, it's a few dollars. Yeah, insulin's a few bucks in other countries. But no, we have to put people's lives at risk and charge them as much as humanly possible to make the most profit possible. And that's just one small piece of garbage area. Now we've got Donald Trump saying, hey, shut the government down. Good. I get to fire thousands of employees that way. What? People are already struggling. And now you're just going to, hey, get lost. Hey, we're going to shut the government down. Hey, yeah, thousands lose their jobs. So what? Farmers are failing at an alarming rate right now. Farmers are, many of them are on the edge. They can't pay their bills. They have no money. I can just keep going on and on and on. The Epstein files. They won't put a congressman. A congressman is supposed to be seated right now. And they're just not doing it. They're just like, no, we know that person when they come aboard is going to sign on for the Epstein file. Then we have to release them, so we're just not going to seat him. What? What are we doing here? Do we have a system of law? And now we have a Supreme Court that basically says, precedence doesn't mean anything. Yeah, just because it's been that way in the past for hundreds of years doesn't mean it has to be anymore. Yeah, we have a Supreme Court, and then we have Republicans, legislature, people in the Senate and the House, Republicans just sitting there like this as Trump becomes king. Literally becomes a king. You know, it's pretty bad when people in Germany are like, I don't ever want to hear you say, how did we let that little guy come to power back in the 30s and 40s? I don't want to hear about it. We're watching you do it in 2025. We're all watching you let this man run amok, just like we did back 80 years ago, 90 years ago. Now you guys are doing it. You learned nothing. You learned nothing. Because an entire party, an entire group of people, and that's the thing, how bad does a person have to be before you guys are like, yeah, time out? And I'm talking to you Republicans here. How bad, how awful, how terrible does Donald Trump have to be before you go, yeah, enough of that? Because cheated on all his wives, cheated people in business, cheated his own charity. Literally, the judge said he literally raped a woman. He got convicted of sexual assault, and the judge was like, yeah, he pretty much raped her. Yeah. And he got convicted of it. And you guys don't care. And he's like this, friends with Jeffrey Epstein, a pedophile. And Trump was there, his friend, and he was there at the parties with him. He's all over the files. And you don't care. I go, how awful, how ridiculously terrible does a person have to be before you sit there and go, I don't care if he is a Republican, that's an awful person. Because now you could literally be Charles Manson. If Charles Manson made a huge mistake, all he had to do was come out and say, I'm a Republican. And these people are, these wacko Democrats are against me for, I didn't actually do anything. That was Charles Manson's mistake. All he had to do was say, I'm Republican. And be like, these guys are demonizing me. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't do anything. And he would have been out in 10 years. He would have been out like that. All you got to do is say you're Republican and people are treating me badly. That's it. That's the new rule anymore. I'm a Republican. So you know, if you're coming after me, you're just one of those liberals. You're one of those liberals. Because Donald Trump is clearly, with all the things that he is doing, with all the ridiculous tariffs, with all the ridiculous, TikTok is a done deal. China's like, what? Well, what? He said what? There's no done deal here. Does that shock you? It doesn't shock me, because he lies all the time. He lies about everything. And now the Republicans are sitting back while he attacks everybody, why he attacks the media, why he attacks individuals. We got people right now in the streets being tackled by people in plain clothes and putting them in vans and disappearing. This is America that we're doing this. We're just grabbing people off the street. I mean, I could just go on for the next half hour. I could go on and on and on with all the travesties that this man is doing and how he is attacking everyone and everything and every institution and everything that makes the United States the United States. But I don't feel like we're that anymore. If we're going to get rid of the Constitution, okay, show us the new paperwork. Show us the new rules, Republicans, please. Show us the new rules since you don't follow the Constitution. Since you won't follow the paper that you're supposed to follow, that you pledged to follow, show us the new paperwork. Dumbasses. Let me know what you think. Seriously, let me know what you think. Don't go anywhere. Part 2 coming up. Condos are failing. Houses are failing. The car market is failing. The car market is collapsing. Housing is collapsing. And when I say collapsing, here in Vegas, that's literal. I don't know if you know it, but there's the Webb built some houses, $1 million houses that are now just falling apart. They're 5 years old and they're just falling apart. And I think this is going to be a huge story in the upcoming few years from now, is all the homes that were built in the last 3, 4, 5 years, garbage, absolute garbage. I mean, literally right now in Vegas, there's a whole group of $1 million homes built by Webb. They're falling apart. And here it is. It's only been a few years. They're sinking into the ground. And the houses are falling apart. And that's going to be true in Texas, in Florida, all over the country, where they just threw up houses as fast as they could because they wanted to make money. And now all these people are stuck with lousy homes that are built poorly that aren't going to last 50, 60, 70 years. That's not a thing. These houses aren't going to last that long. These houses are going to start falling apart after 5 to 8 years. And can you imagine the new homes built down in Florida? Can you imagine what a disaster they're going to be? Oh my gosh. And that's it. They're literally falling apart. Big story down here in Vegas. Huge story. I mean, these guys here they spent over $1 million for a home. And now they're sinking into the ground. Yeah. Can you imagine being in that development and watching your neighbors, including you, just start sinking into the ground? Yeah, congratulations, Las Vegas. You have a bunch of people that bought houses that are pretty much worthless now. But I'm warning you, that's all over the country. All these homes built in the last few years, many of them are complete garbage. They're built on paper foundations, using as little concrete as possible, using very new lumber that isn't seasoned. And can you imagine what Florida weather and Texas weather is going to do to that? Oh, my goodness. Some of these houses that were built cheap and quickly, you think they're going to last 30, 40, 50 years? Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And people are going to realize that the whole scam is in buying a house. They're going to realize that buying a house is especially a new house, is a scam. Yeah, and it's a huge liability. And it's, and many times, what people are finding out right now, yeah, you own a house, but how are you going to turn it into money? You know, if you can't even sell it now. I mean, there's people all over Texas and Florida and around the country that are trying to sell their house. They can't do it. They can't sell it. Nobody wants them. Let me know what you think. Yeah, we have condos across the country. Who's signing on to buy a condo now? Yeah, condos in Florida, a lot of them, they're worthless. Absolutely worthless. Who wants to sign on to a $1,200 HOA, huge insurance bill, plus you got to pay for the condo too? Yeah. We'll be talking about this, unfortunately, a lot more. But let me know what you think. Don't go anywhere. Part 3 to the Dray Way coming up next. Moo moo! All you guys in Canada have been kicking me in the head. You got stash. You got stash, but we can't get stash in Canada. No, you can't. So now down in the description, in my the link in my description is Moo Moo. That's right. If you're in Canada, it's actually a great app. It's actually a really good app. If you're in Canada, use Moo Moo. If you're in the United States, stick with the stash account. A lot of you have stash. You haven't funded it yet. Get your money in stash. Get it funded. Get trading. But Canada, I got good news for you. Right down there is the link. Moo Moo. MOOMOO. There's the link right there. Get yourself started in Moo. I know like 3 or 4 of you have been like, Drayton, we can't do stash, and we can't do stash, Drayton. We can't do. I got you. I got you, Canada. So now, if you're in Canada, you want to trade stocks and you want to do it with me and have some fun, go ahead and hit the link and get Moo. There you go. And don't forget, gold and silver. Have you seen the price of silver just keeps going higher and higher? Gold and silver are the answer. I've been talking about it for months and months and months and months. And gold and silver keeps going higher and higher and higher. And it's going to keep going higher because people simply don't want to buy U.S. paper. Yeah, the United States is selling paper and selling debt because all we do is borrow money now. That's literally all we do. And this administration is not just borrowing money, they are stealing money at an amazing rate. And we are never gonna know about it until they're long gone. Trust me when I tell you, we are never gonna know how much money they took until years later. And then we're gonna look back on it and go, wow, those guys were really corrupt. Yeah. Does that surprise you? Does that, based on Trump's history, all you gotta do is look at his history. And is that going to shock you? It shouldn't. Because right now, everybody has a license to do whatever they want. You know, as long as you're nice to Donald Trump and talk highly of him, as long as you're like, oh, Mr. Trump, you're the most wonderful thing, you can do whatever you want. You can literally do whatever you want as long as you don't affect him. And if you want to break off a piece to him, oh, you can really do whatever you want. If you're going to say, hey, Donald, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to give you a piece, you better believe you're going to have a license to do whatever you want. But look, with that being said, what I'm trying to say is inflation is going to continue to soar. Joblessness is coming, folks, especially in October. Wait till you see the month of October and how many people lose their jobs. So inflation is here to stay. Get invested in gold and silver. Get your Moo account. And if you're in Canada and if you're in the United States, it's stash all the way. Get your stash account. The link is right there. That's the Dray Way for today. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, there's a new Dray Way each and every day. So stop by and say hello because there's a new Dray Way and I'm right here. And I'll be here every day. We'll see you later right here on the Dray Way.
Whoa! Look at that. Water splashing everywhere and I didn't even get wet. Seriously, if you want a pool like this, call the people at Unique Pool Finishes.
Hey, is that a fish?